Don't judge me. TikTok made me talk about it. It was on my For You page. Victoria Fuller, Bachelor in Paradise Season 8, the reunion, and the manipulation that's all about that, because it's all viral right now. We're going to talk about that and more here on Depraved and Debaucherous. Welcome to D&D. This is King of Podcasts. Thanks for listening in, catching the show, subscribing wherever you go and find the podcast 3 times a week. Many episodes, Mondays and Fridays, Wednesdays. You'd get a longer edition of the episode, which is a more current event edition of the program. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Maybe I could have put this as one of mini episode, but I kept seeing this on my For You page for a couple days. Victoria Fuller has apparently been a long time member of everything going on with Bachelor in Paradise, or the Bachelor program. Now, there's a lot to her to go ahead and bring up. We'll go ahead and talk about it for a second. And this is what we got. Now, she previously dated country singer Chase Rice. And she's a gorgeous woman. Don't get me wrong. She's lived there at Virginia Beach all her life, and she's tied to the local community. She initially was on The Bachelor to find love with Peter Weber. Things didn't work out. I'm not going to go through the whole story about how this was worked. She says she's interested in sensitive men who do not shy away from expressing their feelings. And she also has a love for country music. And as of last check, she has about over 700,000 followers on Instagram. Now, one thing that she does is that she's dating people, and she doesn't bother to tell somebody on the show she's dated somebody else, or she's still dating somebody else. So she's always done a thing where it doesn't make a difference for her. You know? And here's what happened here. There was a date that was being done on The Bachelor show, and Chase Rice, who she dated, performed on their one-on-one date. And the Bachelor in Paradise contestant had not decided to tell Peter, fearing it would ruin the moment. Then she confessed about her dating history with Rice, and the Bachelor subsequently appreciated her for being honest, so she wasn't picked. Now, she's gone through a lot of things for herself. She's been a page 6, person on there. She was arrested for DUI, driving under the influence, sentenced to 12 months behind bars, had a year-long sentence that was suspended, 24 months of probation, driver's license restricted for a year, and was permitted to drive to work or school. There's a lot with her that's just toxic and bad. But the problem is, this young, beautiful lady is able to go on a show like The Bachelor, and constantly is brought back because people don't give a shit, right? Because she's beautiful. They bring her in here, and they put her back on that show, and for whatever reason, she's back out there. Doesn't make a difference. And everybody's just caught up in like, man, she just finds a way to get around. It's crap. Now, as far as we know, she's 29 years old. And this past season, there was just a part of what I saw with her and how she handled things on The Bachelor. And I just got to play the clip. I'm going to do that. So this is a guy that she was dating on the show, and now she's dating somebody else, but she didn't want to admit she was dating somebody else. Again, she's being secretive. But the worst part is that she holds secrets. She's not completely transparent or honest. And then she actually tries to manipulate back to try to put guilt and project back to the guy she's dating on Bachelor in Paradise Season 8, the reunion show. So she's confronted. I've seen this clip a billion times so far in the last couple of days. I'm going to play it for you. Here it is.
I not say that I am not going to be engaged to you if we're fighting this much, this soon, and this toxic.
I think that fits your narrative, but I think we very much agreed on working on our issues and trying to get to the stage together.
My narrative for what?
What's out in the public right now. Okay. What is out there and what we now have to talk about.
So what is out there? Some just
now they're saying that had cheated on me and that had switched up and decided to start dating Greg. And this is something that you had constant talk with, not true. Something that you said. Sure.
That I cheated on you. I know you know that's not true. I think it's very easy to blame another situation and other people, us not working out. And I totally empathize with you with the fact that maybe it is hard to see a team moving on, but what is the appropriate amount of time to move fun when we were supposed to be in a very happy, loving relationship.
Notice how she turned that around. I mean, first of all, he's finding out secondhand from this young, about the fact she's on another affair, turns it right back at him because she just feels like that's what she can do. And we continue.
Not only that, you said, don't cook, don't clean. What do you provide to a relationship as a woman?
Victoria.
I'm speaking to him, and this has nothing to do with you.
Real quick.
So you can butt out.
Real quick. We both know that's not something I would say, and it did not put out like that.
No, that's exactly what you said.
Stop. I said, well, we're joking around about cooking and cleaning, and you say, hey, just so you know, I'll never cook and clean. And I joke about like, oh, what are you gonna do? Like, that's not what happened.
See, the part is right here is that he's baited into it, and that's what's going to happen. Too much invested into it, and he doesn't realize that she is just not good, just not good people. I mean, if you just go back and look, now, of course, this is for television, but it's not so much where this guy here is playing along in this story, no matter how conflated or fake the story is. Men and women are watching this on television, and women honestly believe this is acceptable behavior. And it's not. Let's just be honest with each other here. You got to realize, ladies and guys, if you're going to get caught up in this and you're going to think you're going to get some kind of explanation or you're going to get some kind of closure for this, better off you don't get it. Because that's what's happening here. Let's go and continue.
I wasn't in a full-blown relationship. You want this narrative to play out so bad, but you don't want to take accountability.
I do take accountability. I
This sucks. Do you think this is what I wanted out of this? I would have never gotten engaged to you if I didn't truly love you. Exactly. And do you think that like being engaged to somebody and being called the name me is
Crocodile tears.
I can tell that this is really emotional. It's obviously very tough with the two of you. Victoria, I do want to ask you, though, obviously you are aware, I'm sure, of everything that's being said on social media. So I'll just ask point blank. Are you dating Grippo right now?
Greg and I are together.
For the rumors out there that you started dating while you were still engaged to Johnny.
Absolutely not.
To be clear, did not cheat on Johnny. Correct.
Absolutely not.
And there you go. Who wants to believe this shit and get caught up in all this? It's not acceptable behavior. It's bullshit. But when people think this is acceptable, and look, it's not as if the show has not gotten their own flack about going on with this, but damn it, please pay attention to what's going on here. Vice did a good job of talking about this a while back. Romanticizing toxic behavior. Please stop watching the damn TV and thinking that is real life. Let me tell you something. Back when I was growing up as a teenager, I've said this story before, I really thought it was something for me to watch Sonny and Brenda on General Hospital. Some of you might remember that, right? And Brenda was beautiful. And Sonny's like this, cool, suave, dark-haired, olive-skinned guy, that like kind of the mafioso, right? He's the gangster. And was brought in and smothered to the allure of Brenda on this show. And that's how it was. So anyway, in this goes on here. Vice makes the point on here and makes a good point. From reality TV, the rom-coms, the media's portrayal of stalking behavior and relationships is treated as romantic time and time again. Because we see that on The Bachelor. We've seen these bad relationship things that are going on The Bachelor. And in the story from Vice, talking about The Bachelor romanticizes toxic behavior and has dangerous outcomes, they talked to a sex and relationship therapist, director of the Long Island Institute of Sex Therapy, Rosaura Teresi, saying, quote, since the advent of storytelling, there's been a media influence on the way we think of as a good relationship, but in terms of this kind of behavior, we really have truly romanticized obsessive, manipulative, power control types of relationships and behaviors. People get lured into a relationship with somebody like that, and then at some point, when they're trying to realize where that turned into, they can then recognize the danger of it. The dating relationships and the communication, the hearts and love and passion and sex and pleasure is also problematic. But this goes along with dating. This goes on before you do anything. How toxic can you let things go before, you just realize, look at what you're into. Now for television, this is, it's so unhealthy. And it's the gutter. Now, the problem is they're putting on a show like this. It's on primetime TV. Okay. We were succumbed to Jerry Springer and Maury Povich, right? Which those shows, Maury Povich you can still find today. Jerry Springer for years was on doing his thing. But we laughed at those shows. We mocked those shows. We made fun of those shows. Richard Bay, all those shows, they were shows to goof on in the 90s and 2000s about relationships because they were so toxic and bad. But this right here, remember, we also had the people that were on those shows, not necessarily attractive, they're everyday people, but you have Victoria Fuller here. Beautiful, long dark hair, amazing features, great looking body, 29 years old. And she's clout chasing. She's an influencer. And is using her spot to be on The Bachelor, whenever they call her in, because she's good for TV. Well, that's the effect of reality shows for the last 25 years, because it's acceptable behavior. So that's it. Oh, by the way, contestants go through a psychological screening and background process, and there's been troubling behavior of contestants from over the years. I still remember Jenny Jones when that guy killed the guy that was interested in him. Jesus, man, all that kind of stuff going on. That's just bad. But she also makes mention of that, in the story they say here, once an action crosses the line where it's now abusive behavior, person needs to take responsibility for what they're doing, and as a society, producers need to take some responsibility. They're not. Because remember, for ABC, they got nothing else that's actually out there for ratings that could do anything for them. So they're going to go with this. And they try. And they think they can succeed. Hey, they're going to do it. What are you going to do? It sucks. And guys that will fawn over Victoria Fuller, they're going to think, well, she's so beautiful, I'll go through all that shit just to be with her. Okay. But that's no good. Anyway, that's my rant for tonight. I figured I would go and bring it up for about 15 minutes. Good enough for that. And we'll leave it there. I'm not going to go much farther into it. It doesn't deserve more time. Anyway, come back for another episode. We'll be on Fridays. Remember, Mondays and Fridays. Wednesdays I do my best to make sure to give you a new episode. Something good and frothy and fresh and new. And remember, the website is ddradio.live. Make sure to go and check in, ddradio.live. And, if you're going to go ahead and get yourself into something toxic like a Victoria Fuller, don't make it long term. Make it short term and deep and really be depraved and debaucherous.